To commemorate the 60th anniversary of Daredevil's creation by Stan Lee and Bill Everett happening this month, I want to talk about my absolute favorite version of Daredevil, and that is the MCU Netflix version portrayed by Charlie Cox. And I have to say, this was my first real introduction to the character. This is the first time I actually sat down and was exposed to actual singular Daredevil lore, and really, that show was easily my favorite Netflix show and one of my favorite Marvel television projects of all time. Maybe my favorite Marvel television project of all time. It's up there. The complexity of Matt Murdock's character between the Catholic guilt and the struggle between right and wrong and just all of these different moral gray areas that he's finding, and all of these very, very complex issues that he's dealing with every second of every episode. It just made me fall in love with the character, and he really speaks to me in a way that not a lot of other characters do. So a lot of that is because of Charlie Cox's fantastic portrayal, and I can't wait to see it come back in Daredevil Born Again, which is hitting Disney Plus as early as next year, and I'm so hyped for it. I'm really excited to see basically a successor to the Netflix show, because even though they originally started the plan with they weren't going to tie it into the Netflix show, they said, nope, we're getting rid of that. We're going to tie it in. We're going to make the Netflix show canon, and we're going to do a true successor to that series. So they're bringing back Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll as Foggy Nelson and Karen Page. So we are getting Nelson, Murdock, and Page, attorneys at law. We've seen the set photos. We've seen the sign. And oh my gosh, yes, I cannot wait for this. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need it so much. Oh, I can't wait for that. I absolutely love those characters. Charlie Cox has said that they are the heart and soul of the original Daredevil series, and I couldn't agree more. Matt Murdock cannot survive without Foggy and Karen, and that has been proven through the Netflix show with all the different arcs that the characters have gone through, both individually and together. And I can't wait to see them all back for this. Now, there are rumors out there that Foggy and Karen may have some bleak futures in this show. I'm going to believe it when I see it. They supposedly have already filmed these scenes, but they filmed them outside. And this is a Marvel Studios production, and that's not something that I think Kevin Feige would allow to be filmed outside where paparazzi and, the press can get photos of it. So I'm going to believe that when I see it. I don't think that Foggy and Karen are going to die. I think maybe one of them gets injured, and that's a recurring plot throughout the show. But I don't think either one of them are going to die. And I'm really excited to see them come back. Of course, we also have a new suit for this series. I will admit that it is a little bit bland for me. I do like how bright the red is on it. The original Netflix version was a bit darker, but this one is much more classic Daredevil look from the comics. The Netflix suit, I will admit, I do kind of prefer because it had that red and black kind of both going on at the same time. And it looked a little bit, more interesting than this new one does. But this new one is also closer to the source material because Daredevil's suit in the comics is straight red, nothing else. So I appreciate the consistency with the source material, but I do kind of miss that Netflix suit. But also in this series, of course, we have Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Wilson Fisk. They're doing the Mayor Fisk storyline from the comics, and it looks like they're going to be pulling a lot from the Chip Zdarsky run, and that is a run that I absolutely adore. So I'm very, very excited to see what they do with that. And finally, they're bringing back Punisher and Bullseye. And Bullseye's not going to be in the Daredevil suit. He's going to be in a more tactical suit. He's going to get his own look in this show. And he's going to finally, he's not quite there yet with the full comic look, but he's closer. He gets his own look in this show, and that's exciting to see. And of course, we've seen set photos of Daredevil and Punisher together. Punisher's costume looks absolutely fantastic. I have no notes whatsoever. And Johnny Bernthal does an outstanding Frank Castle. So I'm really excited to see him come back. And hopefully they make this show TVMA, just like the original Netflix series, just like they just did with the Echo series. So I'm hoping for, just consistency in tone, consistency with the complex themes. I'm hoping for the consistency with the narrative, the very well-defined depth to all of the characters. I'm really excited to see all this stuff. Daredevil Born Again looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see it when it comes out. And when it does, I'm going to be there from minute one.